Hello everyone, it's Caribbean E and Tina.
Hi.
Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody just having a wonderful day and that you're in the best of health.
Yes, with health as always being most important. And we'd first like to start by saying welcome to all of our new subscribers.
And to them that are thinking about living outside of the box.
Right, which we call the U.S.
The U.S. of
Or wherever you're from, if you're from another country and you want to get out and become an expat. So we have gotten a lot of inquiries. We do a live every 2 weeks on Saturdays at 9 p.m.
Right. Our live shows we do every 2 weeks from 9. Sometimes we go to an hour and a half. Just for you, so you guys can get some good information and answer your questions.
Right, and what's one of the biggest questions everybody starts the conversation
It's about real estate. It's about where I'm going to live, how I'm going to live, all these questions about this, about that. I mean, we've done videos. We're doing the same questions over and over again because if you come out here, quite naturally, you're going to need somewhere to stay.
Right, so we are going to bring a little information and hopefully help you out so that you can do your own research because like I always say, knowledge is power and what I might like or want is different than what you might like or want. So always look yourself. So with that, let's jump into it. Now, I found out here there is a lot of real estate agents. Everyone is a real estate agent.
You got that right.
The two top professions when you talk to somebody, what do you do? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. Oh, I'm a lawyer. And I'm like,
self-made. I'm just saying, self-made. You gotta get in when you can fit in. And I don't even know if the real estate agents even have to take a test.
They don't. So that's the thing. They don't have to be licensed. There is something that they have to do through the government, but it's not like what we consider real estate agency, like when they take the courses in the U.S. and they have to actually log so many hours under an existing real estate agent. It's not like that out here. So always be cautious with who is trying to represent you and know up front that they don't charge a fee per se. What they get is 1 month of whatever your rent is. So you'll be paying 1 month's rent, 1 month's deposit, right? For last month's rent.
Right.
And then you'll be paying this third same exact fee, which a lot of people mistake for a deposit when it is not. It's the fee of the real estate agent.
Right.
So for example, if you rented an apartment and it was $600 and they told you, well, you owe first month, that's $600. You owe your last month, that's $600. And then you owe another $600 and you're thinking, oh, that's another month's rent. No, that $600 is going to the real estate agent because that is their commission. Whatever your rent costs, that's their commission for finding you the place that they find you.
Right.
So remember that.
So you're going to end up paying somebody anyway because I wouldn't do no deal out here in this country without a lawyer. So somebody's going to get some money.
Yeah. So
additional money.
So then you want to work with a real estate agent who is either a lawyer or has a lawyer in-house that can protect the rights of you and the person that you're renting from. Mm-hmm. So yes.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of people, though, that are on Instagram. So we keep pushing social apps because it literally is the way that everyone does business out here. They don't do like the billboards and the benches at the bus stations. They don't do that out here. There's not a lot of commercials. Like, you can turn on the TV in the U.S. and you'll see like 20th Century One real estate agents that all have commercials. It's not like that here. So here it really is A, word of mouth, B, social media. And the social media choice is going to be Instagram. So not only for real estate agents, but for builders.
Right, absolutely.
Like you did
like I did the sign. You'll see the signs all over the place. But as far as the big billboards, you don't see those. And a lot of the businesses I notice out here don't have big, bright signs like you had back in the U.S. You got to find them, you got to figure out where they are, and go from there. But like she said, Instagram will take you to the place where you need to go.
Yeah, because I mean, they do the same as all the grocery stores, the restaurants that we did in another video. All the people do all of their advertisements
and promotions
on Instagram. So Instagram's the way to go. So we have out here BXRD, which is BIEXRD. You'll see it on the video here. They are a real estate agency / builder. What does that mean? That means that they also have listings that they did not build. They deal in luxury real estate.
Mm-hmm,
but what they consider luxury real estate, honestly, is where we live. And
Right.
I don't consider that really luxury. They have better, but I mean, this is considered like luxury real estate. So it's not going to be your $200 and $300 a month apartments.
Right, that's for sure.
They're
That
gonna be
is for
new.
sure.
And then we've said before in another video about that guy, Santiago Vertical, RD, and he's on Instagram, and he works for a real estate agent, but he's really about promoting the new buildings. Remember, we watched that video. You got kind of bored because it was super long. So I'm going to warn you now, his YouTubes are really long, but it's because he walks through an entire neighborhood.
It shows you the building, shows you what's in construction and what's going to be available pretty soon. And, you know, this kind of shows you the area so you can see what's going on and see how far you have to walk to the main street.
Yeah, and I like that he talks about like the history. Remember, like when he was going through Trinitaria, he was talking about how long this neighborhood's been around, how they planted trees, you know, to increase the oxygen, and that they've always done that, and that they made sure that these new apartments were going to, you know, get that as well, that they're going to do the same thing. They're going to kind of give back to the beauty of the existing neighborhoods, because you're going to see a lot of these high rises in the middle of homes. We've seen that.
Right,
it's like a house, a big old high rise, a house. That's how the streets are here. So it's kind of like you're thinking, how can that even be? But it's that plot of land came up for sale, and that's who bought it. On our lives, who do we always have?
Kirk Real Estate.
Yes, Kirk Capron Real Estate Agency. He deals mostly with the North Coast, but he also has affiliates here in Santiago, and he's helped a couple of our viewers out here. So if you guys aren't familiar with him, he also has a YouTube and he has a website, and his information is always underneath all of our videos, so that you guys can get in contact with him if you're looking for like a purchase, because that's, you know, that's and rental, but you know, he gets like really good deals early in like rentals. I also recently found, that's that new one that I told you about, Clover Services RD, that we just gave to one of your viewers who was looking for rentals, because they have really, like, I couldn't even believe the amount of rentals new that they had on their listings. We're talking, if you're looking for a little bit older building, an existing community, you don't want to pay as much, you really want those DR prices here in Santiago, Clover Services is probably the best first source, meaning that here we don't have, like we were talking about, they don't get MLS listings. So there's not a listing of every single thing ever on sale. That's how they do it in the US. They don't do it that way here. A real estate agent only has the listings that they have or have been given. They don't have everything. So you when we lived in
Los Jardines?
Yeah, you used to like walk around.
I walk around the neighborhood, I see which houses that's on sale, I look at the signs, and you can tell what's on sale or what's for rent. But most of these older houses I'm seeing here, 10, 20 years old, they're trying to sell them. And sometimes the construction companies buy that house, demolish it, and put up tall buildings, because they're not going this way in Santiago, they're going straight up.
Which is where the guy gets his name, Santiago Vertical.
Straight up, that's where they're going. Unless you outside of the city, then you can get, build your own house. So that's
but
what
I heard that they have where they can't go over so many floors.
I've never heard that.
I heard that. Somebody wrote in, one of the guys that was born and raised in Santiago wrote into us, and he had said, they can go up, but they can't go over a certain
amount of floors.
Yeah. So I mean, that's good though, because then you're not obstructing other people's views. That happened a lot in Vegas. So like I said, there's a lot of different options. You can go with real estate agents. You can go with apps, like we've always said, Corotos. And now on Instagram, you can do something like go on the Clover Services RD app, or I'm sorry, Instagram, and see what they have listed. They also have a Facebook. You can go on the Santiago Vertical to see what neighborhoods are up and coming if you have questions, because that's another big question we get. Which neighborhood should I live in? Which neighborhood is good? And I'm like, well, I might think it's great. You might think it sucks.
Right.
So I always say, you got to come out here and look. But at least with Santiago Vertical, he gives you, like you said, those tours.
Right. And that's a good question to ask. Very, very a good question to ask. Don't feel embarrassed about asking that question. Because I tell you what, if you pick the wrong neighborhood, you are screwed. And I'm quite sure everybody want a little peace of mind. That's why you're moving here.
Yeah.
To raise your family if you're bringing kids. But you don't want to just live anywhere and everywhere. You don't want to make that mistake here.
And that's why I really push the fact that you should rent and not rush to a purchase. And I don't even think you should really rush into a rental. You should take time, maybe get an Airbnb for about 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe sometimes it's going to take you 4 to 8 weeks. But know that you have the luxury of taking your time and finding the greatest place for you, the best fit the first time.
And I'll take that a little bit further. Sometimes when you come out here and you want to do the Airbnb first, you just figure out, get an area and make sure that you're at a nice area. Have somebody verify the area for you, because some of these Airbnb places are way outside of the city, and some of them in bad shape, run down. So that's another thing you got to check out.
So another thing that I want you to talk to them about is why the difference. So we get a lot of questions about, well, why is this place $700 or $800 and my friend's place is only $200 or $300 or $400?
Right.
And the first question we always ask is, does it have appliances or did you have to buy them? Does it have air conditioning units or do you have to buy them? Does it have an elevator? That's a huge one. Remember, we have seen the most huge price discrepancies, and that's why. The difference in the prices are, if you have to, out here, buy or rent an apartment and say it's unfurnished. They think that unfurnished is like unfurnished in the U.S., which if you move into an apartment in the U.S., what do you have? What do you have?
Unfurnished apartment?
Yeah. In the U.S., what's in your apartment? It has a air conditioning.
Yeah, well, it's got air conditioning. It's got stove, refrigerator.
Exactly.
But that's what was in my house I just sold.
Okay.
Everything was in there. So
that's what's in an unfurnished place, apartment or home, when you rent in the U.S. Here, that shit ain't like that. Listen, you got no air conditioning units half the time. You have to buy for every room that you want. So these people look at these 3 and 4 bedroom places and they're like, oh, it's only $300. It's mine. It's mine. 3 and 4 bedrooms needs 3 and 4 air conditioning units, of which you will have to purchase. You will have to have someone install. And when you leave or move or whatever, you have to have someone uninstall and take all that stuff with you to your next place. So the question is it worth the $300? Or do you just want to spend $500 or $600 and get a place that has air conditioning units, fridge, stove,
microwave,
washer, all the things that apartment does not have? Now, so you're still saying $300's for me. I'm going to buy everything. I want to buy my refrigerator and I want to buy my stove and everything. Well, now it's moving time. You've lived there a few years. You found this other great place. You want to move into it. What do you do if that fridge doesn't fit?
You got a problem, my friend.
What do you do if the stove doesn't fit because the dimensions are different?
You got a problem, a big problem. Big problem.
Just saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate for my $300 a month person who's going, go $300. So now, on top of the fact that when you're packing, you're going to have to make some time, because I don't know anything about electric and gas lines.
Right.
I would have to hire someone to take everything out, uninstall it so that I can get it to my next place of destination, so that I'm not leaving an apartment with an open gas line or something wrong, that apartment blows up, and then gets to my next apartment and then gets all of that installed for me, up and running, so that I can live in my second place.
See, everything out here works a lot different, whether you buy a house, whether you buy an apartment. And like I always say on the channel, you get what you pay for, because a lot of people look at that price first and say, oh wow, this is only $300.
They get, oh my God, this is
I'm
amazing.
So excited. This is the best deal in the whole wide world. Wow, you should have told me this years ago.
And then they find out they don't have an elevator. And now you, Mr. 300, you've got all your stuff on this truck. You've gotten all these people to help that you paid for, and then they look at you and go, where's the elevator? You're on the 4th floor. So now you have to say, oh, you have to carry it up the flights that you're going to pay them for. Because
Right.
you're going to pay them extra if they have to walk up with appliances and all your stuff, all those flights. So there's that. So when people always ask, what is the price difference? Why is it so huge? You guys are crazy. I come back with, bet there's no air conditioner. Check. Yeah, there's no air conditioner. Bet there's no appliances. Well, yeah, there's no appliances. Check. Bet there's no elevator. No elevator. Okay. And is there a backup generator? Because if the apartments have, which the newer ones do, the backup generators, the cistern, and the internal cameras and or security on premises, you definitely are going to have a little bit higher ticket.
Absolutely.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. Listen.
If not,
I have to have a security. That's one of my demands. I need to have. That's the first thing I have is
Right.
security.
right. Yep. So those are the price. That's the price differences. That's I mean, that's everybody in that. That's always what the guys ask you. They go, well, I found a great place. They're going to show it to me. It's only $200-$300 a month. And then I look at them and they go, and it's got like 3 bedrooms, blah, 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 blah. It's got this, it's got that, it's got a pool outside, it's got bars all over, I'll be safe. And I'm like, okay. And then they get there and they go, where's all the appliances? Or like that one guy that we were talking to, and he said, yeah, I had to go out and buy 4 fans because I had to put a fan in every room because it was burning up. Because you guys forget, June, July, August, September. It's our hottest.
Very humid. Very, very humid. And I mean, when I say humid, if you ain't got no breeze coming through, you are in big trouble. We speaking from experience. We lived in an apartment here in this city, and just from this part of town to the other part of town, there's a big difference in where the wind blows.
Oh yeah.
And we hardly got no wind over there, but here it's like we right on the ocean. I mean, we had to close these windows sometimes because the doors would be slamming, because that's how powerful the wind is in this building.
Yeah, so just consider all of that. Make sure you have all of the facts, because that's why sometimes it's just better to leave all of that headache to the owner, him to get the appliances installed and just rent it already done like that so that you don't have to worry. Just saying, especially when it's an apartment or a home. So yeah, so that's that's the most asked. I would say questions on apartments. There are the answers, and right after this, we're gonna have a lot of things on Instagram that I took some screenshots of to show you guys, so you guys can actually see there are some affordable places out here.
Absolutely. And you don't have to be living like you're in the boondocks or something. You got to go and fetch your food and have you a barbecue pit out in the back somewhere because you ain't got no stove. Okay? Yep. So just get all the details, because sometimes, like I said, a lot of people have came out here, they made that mistake. Sorry you didn't get in touch with this channel sooner, but you came out here, you made that mistake, and now you had to deal with it after you signed the lease, had your lawyer, and then you look around and say, wow, what's the refrigerator? Maybe they got it in the back somewhere. Or maybe they'll bring me a stove. Or maybe
they end up staying in an Airbnb because they have to wait for everything to be delivered and everything to be installed. And I mean, unless you're going to live with no conveniences.
Right. And you better make sure you got security if you want them there when you do move in.
Yeah. So stay tuned. In just a second, we're going to show you some properties. So here we're just going to show you a variety of pictures of apartments, furnished and unfurnished, homes for rent, and homes for sale. I'll give you just some of the glazed over prices. You would have to actually go to the sites to see which is which, but they had some apartments for rent that were unfurnished, no appliances, for $290 a month, all the way up to $393 a month, which also included security cameras. There were homes to rent from $600 to $855 a month for people who want a full house because maybe they're bringing over family and backyards. They also had homes for sale for about $145,000 on up. There's also, on the Corotos app, we found rentals for $600 a month with all utilities except electricity, and they had a square footage of 1,689 feet. So as you'll see through these variety of pictures, there's a lot of different options. You can go with the real estate agents, you can go with the apps like Instagram, you can go directly to builders, you can go to BXRD, You can do corotos.com.do. So there is lots of ways to find all sale and rentals at everyone's price range, depending on what you are willing to do with or without, as we stated in the video. So I encourage you, if you'd like to see a lot more photos of properties like these that we're showing you, these are all currently on the market, then please hit up VXRD, Santiago Vertical RD, Capron Realty, Clover Services RD, or Corotos, good old Corotos app. So happy apartment or home hunting. And these are some of the projects in Santiago in different locations that we also talked about. Santiago City Center, the brand new Supermercado Nacional. And you will also find in your hunting that there are going to be a lot of apartments nearby all of these new city trade centers and all that, because they really are trying to get living right next door to these places of business. So this is a brand new, obviously not even built yet, in the Trinitaria section of town, where they are really trying to set their focus on. So again, I say there is something for everyone, old and new, low and high. So happy apartment hunting and welcome to Santiago.
So, in the meantime, between the time, always remember, life is to be enjoyed.
Yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks and welcome to all of our new viewers. Make sure to hit the bell for notifications. Always give this and all videos a thumbs up. It's the free and easy way to patron the channel. All information is always underneath all of the videos, and we'd like to thank all our patrons that continue to patron at buymeacoffee.com/Caribbean.
So until the next video, peace.